Okay, welcome back. So, don't worry, we'll still be back to Doctor Who Revisited on Saturday. But for now, we are ranking the MCU heroes, right? So, before we even get to the ranking itself, this is already a controversial decision just by who we're deciding to include on this list. Here are some notable omissions that you might want to know about. These people are not on our list. Wong, Valkyrie, Yandu, Shuri, Okoye, Loki, because we consider him a villain. M'Baku and Korg. None of them are on our list. So, not including them, we come out with 26 heroes on our list. So, Kernan, do you want to go first with and say who you have at number 26?
All right. Controversial opinion. Number 26 in last place is James Rhodey.
I don't find that very controversial. I also have him very, very low, but I do not have him at number 26 because at number 26 I have someone else, but it's kind of just by default because I don't dislike any of these 26 characters. So by default, who I have at number 26 is Quicksilver because he has like 20 minutes of being a superhero and then he's killed off.
That's a good point.
And I think the guy who plays him does a really good job, and I love his power set. Like I love having someone with super speed in the MCU, which is why I think I would have rather him stayed than Scarlet Witch stay.
Oh, definitely agree. For me, War Machine, I think I personally like Terrence Howard more than Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's because like the character. I think just Rhodey. See, all right, when I think about it, Terrence Howard is Rhodey for me, and Don Cheadle is War Machine. Don Cheadle is a terrible Rhodey. Terrence Howard probably wouldn't be a good War Machine. In Iron Man 2, in the final battle, he was kind of useless, and he wasn't in Iron Man 3 enough. So he's kind of just a big letdown for Tony's best friend.
All right, number 25. What do you have at number 25?
And 25, I have Mantis.
Mantis, okay. I can tell.
So many problems with her. So many problems.
Well, I think you're gonna completely disagree with who I have at number 25. I don't think you're gonna like this at all. Okay.
Yeah.
At number 25, I have the Wasp.
Cold.
The Wasp for me just kind of a bland character. It's just the Wasp will always be second to Ant-Man, and she was like raised as a superhero, so there's no room for growth with her character.
For me, Mantis and Guardians 2, it was so annoying how she didn't just tell Drax and tell Gamora for a really a strange reason why she didn't tell them. Because when you think about it, there was no reason for her not to tell Gamora. And it gets really frustrating when like it's the final battle and Peter's about to die and it's all because of Mantis. But I will say, what's keeping her from 26th is in Infinity War, she did have some lines that were like funny. Some good lines.
All right, number 24. I'll go first.
I think we're gonna have this one the same.
I know for a fact we're not, because at 24 I have War Machine.
Oh, alright. Well, I have Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Okay. Wow, that is not what I expected. I totally would have expected for me to have her lower than you.
My main pushback on Captain Marvel, her movie was disappointing. It could have been so cool. It was a good movie, but plus she was so hyped up for Endgame. And I was like, I didn't like that because I knew Tony should be the one to save the day. Which happened, which I'm happy about. But Captain Marvel shouldn't have been there, because she did really nothing. She could have worn the gauntlet, snapped the stones, and not or at least not die. So, kind of makes her feel a little useless in the MCU.
War Machine, he just seems kind of like wasted potential. He's been there with Tony Stark since Iron Man, since the beginning. And it just feels like they've never really done enough with him. So, yeah, kind of like what I said with the Wasp. It'll always behind Iron Man.
All right, 23. Now, You are not going to like this, but I don't like these movies necessarily. So in 23rd, I have The Falcon. All right. Okay. So in his first movie, The Winter Soldier, I guess Steve and Sam talked for a little, and they had some fun running around together. But then they're like, we need a place to stay, and you go to him. Kind of a weird choice. And I think he should have done a classic movie plot twist. Sam should have been working for the villain. That would have been so cool.
23rd, right? Yeah, 23rd for me, Scarlet Witch. Like I said that I would have rather had Quicksilver stick around instead of Scarlet Witch. But Yeah, I mean, she's fine. I like, she's interesting because we still don't really know the extent of her power. We know she's really powerful, but we just don't know how much. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
22nd, I have Mantis. So,
Alright.
she's just a lot of fun. I mean, I didn't like her addition to the Guardians of the Galaxy in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, but now I'm accepting it more. I like her as a character, just not as good as the ones above her.
For 22nd for me, sticking with the Captain America theme, is Bucky Barnes.
Okay.
In the first Captain America, I liked him. I loved him. He was like probably my favorite character in that whole movie. Going into the second Captain America though, I thought it was cool how he was like an assassin kind of, but they didn't use that to the strengths of like the whole MCU. Coming on to the third movie, Civil War, I kind of like how he killed Howard Stark and his wife, but I just don't believe that he could just get out of brainwash that easy.
So what are we at now? 21? Oh, okay, 21. I have Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier. Again, like I was talking about with the Wasp and War Machine, he's kind of always following around Captain America, and it'll never be quite as good, but it's not nearly as bad as with the Wasp and War Machine. It's interesting because like he's like a core part of each of the Captain America movies. But yeah, I like him. Just, not as good as the ones above.
I have Groot.
Really?
Why?
Wow.
Why?
I think that's the first big gap that we have.
In the first Guardians movie, he's the best. He's just one of the best characters. He's comic relief. He's adorable. He's just a cool tree man, and it's such a good idea. His sacrifice felt super necessary. I think the whole movie plummeted after that. Like the final battle wasn't that good.
I can agree with that.
I think it's because Groot wasn't in there. And then Guardians 2, Baby Groot, it wasn't a good idea, but I think they did it fine. And then coming on to Teenage Groot, he is the worst thing to ever happen. Even though I do think it was kind of cool how he grew with Thor to become good friends and how he sacrificed his arm. So that's what brought him up a little bit.
Okay, at number 20, I have Captain Marvel. Yeah, okay. She's just kind of one-dimensional. We still don't really have like that much. We don't really know that much about her still. And Captain Marvel kind of made sense because she was being raised by the Kree and she was kind of taught to not show emotion and stuff. But then I was kind of hoping that in Endgame we'd see more of her personality, but we don't either. So
20th, I have Pietro Maximoff. He wasn't really a hero. No, for the hero part of him, the like 15 minutes we got of him, I didn't really like him as much. But when he was a villain, he was such a cool character because he was so close to his sister and he really wanted to look out for her. They were such a cool team. And I think Scarlet Witch should have died instead of Quicksilver, but whatever.
Okay, number 19, I have Falcon. Okay. I like Falcon. He's fun, but here we go again. He's kind of the sidekick to Captain America, more so than the Winter Soldier.
For me, in 19th, I have Hope Van Dyne. So first movie, she was a cool character. I didn't see the relationship between her and Scott at all, and I still don't. But in the first movie, I didn't really like her. The reason is she left her dad even after her mom's died. But I like her being a sidekick to Ant-Man, so I think they're a good duo.
Okay, number 18, Nebula.
I don't like that.
Nebula's interesting. She's not 100% superhero. Obviously, she's played by Karen Gillan, so that's a big boost, honestly. She'd be a couple spaces lower if it wasn't for that. But yeah, I like the dynamic between her and Gamora.
For 18, I have Doctor Strange. He had probably one of the coolest like origin stories.
Ooh, so yeah, that's it. I totally disagree with that.
And like the one Captain America, they talk about like science and magic and how they're two of the same thing. But I think we really get to see that in Doctor Strange and how magic isn't something you have to be like invited to by Dumbledore. You can just learn it if you really focus. And I thought that was cool. And Benedict Cumberbatch, so is a plus.
Okay, what do we got now? 17?
17.
All right,
yeah.
You go first.
I have Vision.
You're not gonna like this. 17, I have Gamora.
I don't know.
Yeah, easily the least interesting Guardian of the Galaxy, but still a great character.
Alright, well, my Vision. I thought Jarvis was such a cool idea, having like an AI that was like actually really close to Tony, but and he was cool in Infinity War and Civil War even. But Age of Ultron, I just didn't like him. I didn't like anything about him really. I didn't like how he was like really robotic. I didn't like how he could lift Thor's hammer. I didn't like much at all.
Okay, number 16 now. Number 16, I have Vision. I think he's a cool character. I mean, he can walk through walls and shoot lasers out of his forehead and stuff. But he is just, at the end of the day, basically a robot. I mean, Infinity War, you get like more of the, she literally like looks like a human. And I think that bumped him up too when you get to see the more human side of him.
For number 16, I have Drax the Destroyer. I thought super strange character. I think this is even a little high. I think really he's probably lower, but Drax
quite a bit higher.
Drax just comic relief for an already really funny
great
group of
comic relief though.
I mean, he's perfect comic relief, except how Thanos kills his family. He didn't seem that scarred from it. In the prison he did, but then he was just funny for the rest of the movie.
Okay, 15, I have Nick Fury. Yeah, so obviously played by the fantastic Samuel L. Jackson. It couldn't have been, I mean, I can't picture anyone else playing that role. Just perfect. I mean, kind of the core of the MCU, really. That character kind of brought the whole rest of the universe together.
Alright, for me, 15 is Scarlet Witch.
Ooh, wow, that's way higher than what I have.
That's really high. I do like what... In the beginning, she was cool. In Age of Ultron, she was fine. Thought she should have died instead of Quicksilver, but whatever. Then later in, I think Civil War is her next movie, she got better. And then in Infinity War, she got way better.
I didn't mention this when I was talking about her, but I love how she's the one, she has to kill Vision. Obviously, it just gets undone, and then Vision dies twice, which is tough. But yeah, 14th now, right? 14th, I have Hawkeye.
I really don't like that at all.
Uh-oh. All right, so Hawkeye, for the longest time, well, I mean, now, obviously, because he is the lowest of the original 6 Avengers on here. But what they did with him in Avengers, I mean, even starting in Age of Ultron a little bit with, like, seeing his family and all that. But what they did with him in Avengers Endgame boosted him up a whole lot. Like, having, like, we really needed that human, like, aspect. Because, like, obviously, these people are trying to save half of the entire universe. But Hawkeye, we get to see, like, how personal it is. With, like, he actually lost his family, and we can see, like, he just really wants his family back. So, I love what they did with him in Endgame.
14th. Black Panther.
Wait, you have Black Panther in 14th place?
Yeah.
In 14th?
Yeah. Even that's a little high.
Wow.
Black Panther's not that great
that is
a character.
By far the biggest gap so
what?
far. I need explanations, please.
Just a fine. So in that movie, Black Panther, his movie, it's his time to shine. And I think what they did is he's not the star of the show. I say the best character in that movie is Everett Ross.
What?
The agent, Martin Freeman?
He's your favorite character in that movie.
Oh, he's so cool.
I totally disagree.
He'd be number 1 on the list. I just think he was overshined, and in all of the movies, really. Not one movie he's in, he's like the coolest part of. And you can admit that.
All right, 15th place, I have Doctor Strange. And he's frustrating because I absolutely love him in Infinity War especially, but and in Endgame and even Thor Ragnarok. I absolutely love him. What I'm not a big fan of is his origin story. What I really don't like about it is it just feels like Tony Stark's origin story redone. It just doesn't feel like an interesting character. So, like, once he becomes the Sorcerer Supreme, once he becomes Doctor Strange, then I love his character. But, like, I always have that lingering, like, this is who he really was before this happened. And that just hurts the character a lot.
Where are we? 13?
13.
Yeah. You are not going to like this, but I have Peter Parker himself, Spider-Man.
Wow, that's 2 in a row. That's not good.
Alright, so no. How do I phrase this? No, I'm gonna phrase this the same as I did Black Panther.
God.
He was overshadowed in all of his movies.
Wait. How can you say he was overshadowed in Homecoming and Far From Home?
Homecoming had Tony Stark. You know he's gonna just take
for barely any of it. He was in a few scenes.
Alright, well, if it wasn't Tony Stark, it was Aunt May. Aunt May is the greatest part about any Spider-Man movie. You have to admit that. She's my favorite Spider-Man.
Yeah, I don't admit it. In 12th place, I have Ant-Man. So, Paul Rudd is so perfect casting for that part. He's one of the more lighthearted superheroes, and he's really funny. A really likable guy.
Alright, 12th place, I have Nick Fury. So,
okay.
I like him. What you said, basically. Can't see anyone else playing him. But, alright, in Avengers, Nick Fury, super great. Then for the rest of his movies, up until, like, Infinity War and Endgame, were fine. Captain Marvel made him, he would probably be, like, 20 if it wasn't for Captain Marvel. But that scene in Winter Soldier where they're, like, attacking his car is so cool. It's, like, it's one of the best MCU scenes.
Alright, 11th place. this is where I have Drax.
Wow, that's very high.
Simply because of the fact that he's absolutely hilarious.
Well, going with Guardians, I have Star-Lord. The reason is he's just so hilarious. And every one of, like, the Guardians, he has, like, I feel like he has a certain relationship with every one of them. And I like his character having trouble, like, family troubles.
Number 10, another Guardian of the Galaxy, Rocket Raccoon.
Also, Rocket Raccoon.
Really?
Yeah.
Ding, ding.
All right. How so for you?
This is getting hard. It's just because there are so many great characters above him. I mean, that's the only reason. I mean, he's great. I can't really think of many things wrong with him.
Agreed. He's funny. He's witty. He's the perfect raccoon.
The perfect raccoon. What a perfect way to phrase that. All right. A big gap this time. 9th place, I have Groot. So, like you said, I love everything about him in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I love almost everything about him I guess it's technically reincarnated version of him. It's a little strange. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I love Baby Groot. And then, yeah, not a fan of Teenage Groot in Infinity War. It just seems so wasted.
I have another Guardian, Gamora. In every appearance she makes, she just gets better and better with him. Well, alright, that may be saying something. So from Guardians to Guardians 2, she kind of took a step down. But then in Infinity War, she became so good with getting such a good backstory on her and what happened to her and how she's a child of Thanos.
That's true.
It makes me happy. So you ready for this? This is the 10th place gap. In number 8, I have Nebula. Alright, so there's so many great things about her. She's cyborg. She's Amy Pond, and she plays such a key role in Endgame that takes her from like a 20 to an 8, because she ties just a random movie from Phase 2 into the whole grand scheme of the MCU and really brings it all together.
In 8th place, I have the Hulk. It's the Hulk. The end.
In 7th place, you are going to hate me. I have Captain America.
Oh my god.
Alright, so hear me out. Out of the main 6 Avengers, I would state that he is the weakest. Like, he's the weakest character. He really doesn't have... In Captain America, he has a cool story. With Bucky kind of ties into the Winter Soldier, but it doesn't come out to like a major outcome in Infinity War Endgame. I think if they were to do that, it would have made such a big, impact on all 3 of the phases. They just didn't do it. But what's keeping Steve from going any lower is that last scene in Endgame, which, like in the 60s or whatever, he's dancing with Peggy, and that broke my heart, okay?
Number 7 is Black Widow. So she's interesting because she has a very long, good character arc from Iron Man 2 until Endgame. But it's not actually over because we still have Black Widows coming out. I feel like it's slightly strange that they're releasing that movie after her death when she's been an Avenger for so long, but whatever.
Alright, number 6, I have the God of Thunder, Thor.
Me too!
Hey!
I liked him in Phase 1 and Phase 2, but then you get to Ragnarok, and he is so much better. I'm not a big fan of what they did with him in Endgame. However, I can still enjoy it.
Yeah, no, that's basically it. I really liked him in Phase 1. That's probably my favorite phase with him, but then Phase 3 and Phase 2.
Alright, number 5. This is our top 5. These are our top 5 favorite MCU heroes. In 5th place, I have Star-Lord. Another perfect casting. Can't imagine anyone other than Chris Pratt playing that role. And the character is... It's really good. I don't know. I don't have anything bad to say about him. Just have 4 that I like more.
Alright, well, you had this person, my number 5, way lower. And you're not gonna like me for this. Number 5, it's Hawkeye. Alright, he has been one of my favorites since I liked him in Thor. I thought his cameo in Thor was cool. Oh, wow. I watched the Avengers before Thor. Liked him in Avengers. I just like him in everything he is. Devotion, we got the greatest add-on stories or any of the main 6 Avengers that there ever has been.
Number 4. Ooh, you had him way lower. In 4th place, I have Spider-Man. This is the best live-action interpretation of Spider-Man ever. I love Tobey Maguire. I don't remember that much about the Andrew Garfield ones. But yeah, this is the most true, real, the best version of Spider-Man. And he's just great.
Alright, so my number 4. Griffin, you want to guess who it is?
Ant-Man.
Yeah, it's Ant-Man.
Yeah.
perfectly cast, perfectly done. But the reason he's number 4 is he has the greatest story in all the MCU for his first main film. Because he comes out of prison just wanting to be with his daughter and spend time.
All right, you go first for number 3.
All right, well, I have Black Widow.
Black Widow. I was just thinking that. I can see that. Okay, so you ready to hear mine? Number 3 is Black Panther.
Whoa.
By far the coolest MCU superhero. His suit, like, he just looks so cool. I love Black Panther. The movie, the characters, probably even better. I love how they introduced him in Civil War, and then we didn't have to worry about, like, establishing who he was in Black Panther. Yeah, just a great character. Number 2 is Captain America.
Alright, well, my number 2, you're gonna get so mad at me for this. It's Tony Stark.
What?
Tony Stark, he had a very generic storyline up until Infinity War. He was growing as a character up until up until Endgame, where he became a dad and he became a great person. But I found one storyline that was just better than his.
I'm going to say a couple more things about Captain America. So, he definitely has the second best character arc. Even though it might on the surface seem like his character hasn't changed, it has. Because he was a soldier in World War II, right? And think about that compared to Civil War, where he would not let the government control the Avengers because of the effects of Winter Soldier, when he learned that the government can't be trusted because it got infiltrated like that. His first movie, and then you look at, obviously, Endgame, when he goes back to the past and stays with Peggy. Just an awesome tie-in.
What I said about Tony Stark, he has such a great storyline, except I found one that has an even better storyline. And you know who that is? Bruce Banner.
No.
Alright, think about this. Bruce Banner goes from trying to hide the Hulk to trying to eventually look.
That's true. You make an excellent point there.
To realizing that in Age of Ultron, so in the Hulk, he's trying to hide the Hulk. Age of Ultron realizes that the Hulk is bad, so he stops the Hulk. And Ragnarok, he learns that the Hulk can be used for good, so he tries to get the Hulk out. And then in Endgame, I'm not sure. I like to just cut that out because he has a perfect storyline. And then
Whoa. Okay, well, I just said I completely agreed with you. I thought you were going a different direction with that. Okay, so what I was saying I thought you made an excellent point with is, well, he starts for a lot of the MCU. He's ashamed of the Hulk, and he's terrified by it, and he hates it. He hates that he has that within him. But then, when you get to Endgame, he's embracing that, and now he is the Hulk, but he's also Bruce Banner, and he embraces that now. I thought that's where you're going with that.
You make a good point. No, alright, I'm changing my plan. So he tries to hide the Hulk, then the Hulk takes himself away. He uses the Hulk for good. Then he finds a way to utilize his strength, but Bruce is smart.
Okay, so we all know by now. At number 1, I have Iron Man. And I did go back and forth. I had Captain America in first for a while, but I did ultimately move Tony Stark up because he has the best character arc. I mean, you look at him in Iron Man, and then the sacrifice you make in Endgame, that final line, just perfect. I mean, he is the best, well thought out character. I mean, as much as I love Captain America and Black Panther and Spider-Man, I can't put them above Iron Man because he's what started it all. He's what ended it. He is the best. Okay, so we made it through the list. For us, I really hope it's nothing close to this, what you guys are seeing, but for us, we've been talking for 58 minutes. Yeah, but, there's our ranking. Let us know what you think. You don't have to give your whole 26 character ranking, but, just give maybe your top 5, or just say who you think the best MCU hero is. So, goodbye for now, and, we'll see you next time.